Hello everyone, Nina here with Waffle Flower. If you know me, you know I'm big on swatching my supplies. If not, check out my other swatching videos by clicking on the link in the top right of this video. We noticed the Floss Bobbins Die and the Floss Organizers Die have become popular lately. Both designs were first introduced in early 2017, when we had the collection of cross-stitch inspired stamps. Over time, we've updated the packaging and the product. The Floss Bobbins Die now come on a magnetic sheet and detabbed, and the 7 skeins Floss Bobbins Die is now replaced by the Floss Organizers Die with a Project Organizer card die inside, which also evolved into our plastic project cards released under the StitchableCards brand. The texture border included in the original set is now available as the stitched borders die. All 3 dies are in the flash sale for this month. It seems a good time to share some updated tips and how I'm using the 2 products right now, in the hope to inspire you in your own swatching and organization. This is not a video to say the dies are must-haves. It's more about sharing my experience as a card maker and a stitcher in organizing and, most importantly, using my supplies. Remember the number 1 rule in organization. If you don't have it, you don't need to organize it. But for me, it's part of the fun. I love cross-stitching as much as I love collecting the colorful threads. I was on a journey to figure out the best way to organize my threads. I'm in phase 3 right now, but I wanted to share the other phases as well. I started my thread organization journey by looking into a common solution. Similar to this set at Michael's, you will get some plastic bobbins and a container to hold them in. There is a tool called Bobbin Winder that helps transfer the threads to the bobbins. This was the idea I had in mind when designing the Floss Bobbins Die. There are 3 sizes of bobbins in this set. Two decorative dies for customization, and a label die for when the base material you use is too dark to write on. The best material for die cutting the bobbins is from your cereal boxes, or any packaging that uses a rigid craft stock. To make sure the stock you use is less than 0.8 mm or 0.03 inches thick. That is about the thickness of a piece of 110-pound cover cardstock. If it's too thick, the blade won't go through the paper. However, you also don't want to use something similar to the Coke carton. It is a craft stock, but it's a tad bit too thin and soft that I wouldn't recommend it for this. This is what it looks like when you transfer a full skein of the embroidery floss to the small bobbin die cut. The StitchableCards number stickers are really helpful. If you don't have number stickers, you can also just wrap the label inside using your thread. The medium bobbin holds 3 skeins of embroidery floss or ribbons up to 2 inches wide. The carrot ribbon I'm using is 1.5 inches wide. I also hand cut a slot to help hold the end. To wind my floss, I will hold the bobbin with a hanging hole on the left, then tuck about 1/2 inch in the center notch and the bottom, then wind from left to right, then right to left. When I get to the end of my thread, I will tuck the end to the notch on the end here. The biggest bobbin holds ribbons up to 2.5 inches wide. However, you won't be able to transfer the entire row of ribbons to these bobbins. There are usually 20 feet or 30 feet per row. I will keep the ribbons that come in rows on the row until I have less than a yard left. These bobbins can hold up to 1.5 yards or 54 inches of ribbons. What I do use these bobbins for are the ribbons I purchased online for card making. They are usually 1/4 to 1 inch wide and trimmed to 1 to 3 yards long. They should stay on these bobbins with no issue. The two decorative dies not only help you customize your bobbins, you can also use a loop die cut to help hold the ends of your ribbons when you use a medium-sized bobbin for them. I designed 7 skeins bobbin for keeping all the threads for a project together. As I enter phase 2 of actually using my threads, I ask myself that if I'm going to use all the threads, why should I spend the time to wind them on the bobbins? I found the project cards really helpful. I spend less time organizing the thread and more time stitching. This is why I updated the die to include a project card in 2022. The new die is now called Floss Organizers Die. I also stumbled upon the DMC Stitchable floss holders. All you need to do is to open up your thread and tuck in the ends on the stitchable. I love that they have a place for the label. I invested in a full set and a couple wooden drawers for all my threads. I even organized them in rainbow orders, but I quickly realized the issue with this system. I would never actually use any thread from here. They're too beautiful staying put in the drawers to be used in the project. I ended up purchasing new skeins for the colors I need. Phase 3. I'm actually only spending time making thread swatches using the Floss Bobbins Die and Floss Organizers Die. I transfer my skeins to project cards for each project and leave them on there. This is also a good reminder for myself that if I don't have a project in the works, I shouldn't buy anything. I will always have my swatches for reference whenever I need. This is why we include full skeins of threads in our StitchableCards project kits. To make my swatches of the 48 colors of StitchableCards embroidery floss, I used about 1 yard of floss for each swatch. I used the project card die as a ruler to help me keep the sticker straight. I love that as I progress in my hobby, I was still able to get good use out of my dies and still enjoy using them. These swatches are a great help when it comes to stitching freely on a card design. We have many dies in the works, and I can't wait to share them with you in upcoming releases. Thank you for spending the time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you again soon.